Finally, the Campbell has come back to the gym. Rock impressions are not my strong point, nor are many other things, but I'm here, I'm back outside the gym. I've actually been going to the gym all the last week, although I did tell you I was taking off some time from lifting to get my hip better. I do feel better. It still feels a little bit gamey, if you will, but that's okay. We're gonna go in and work on some things. And I came to the gym almost every single day just to work on mobility and just get loose. And it was a good break. Got a little bit better, got my mind straight, looking forward to getting in and training. And one of the things that I really determined with my mobility, you guys know I freak out about it all the time. In fact, it's a very fair assessment to say that I bitch about it way too much. But one of the things that I kind of came to the conclusion of is my mobility isn't really that bad. Yes, it does take me a little while to get these old man hips working, but once they're good and going, there's still some power and some movement there. But what really kind of prohibits me from doing better, in my opinion, is my mobility once I have a bar on my back and actually in position. So if I just go and do a normal squat in the air, my depth is actually well below parallel. But then when I put my shoulders up and I start trying to actually squat with a bar on my back, that's where my mobility breaks down. So that's something I'm gonna have to work on. So definitely my shoulders. So for anyone else out there that's dealing with mobility issues, that might be something to kind of keep at top of mind, that maybe it's your shoulders and stuff too. I know I face a lot of other problems, which some are diagnosed, some aren't just yet. But that being said, we're gonna go in, we're going to squat, we're going to deadlift. It's going to be awesome, but it's going to be pretty light only because I don't wanna just jump right back into it and snap my shit up. So you will see what I do once I get on in there. All right, I'll talk to you inside. All right, so back in the gym, we're starting off with my first working set here of 365. Now the goal for today's working sets, we're gonna do 4 sets of 6 on squats. And what I've done is kind of reset my squat max. And I think I've put it at something like 455 or 485. So taking a severe step back, even though I can probably do more right at this time, I want to really work on things and get better at them before really jumping into heavier weights and worrying about my form breaking down just because I'm dealing with heavier working percentages. Now that being the case, one of the problems I ran into today is the fact that normally I don't wear a belt unless I squat well over 400 pounds, and because I've lightened the working percentages, I'm left at a weight that in this case wouldn't normally have me wear a belt, so I decided to go with it beltless. However, I still am wearing my wrist wraps. Now one of the other things I'm really trying to work on in these particular sets is, now that I've been trying to really work on my mobility, open my hips, I decided today to play around a little bit with dropping into the hole nice and fast. Now, if you've been watching my squats for any length of time, you know typically I'm a pretty methodical squatter, meaning I take my time, and I think that's true about almost everything that I do. Some might even say the commentaries themselves are pretty slow and methodical, but today I tried to speed those up a little bit, maybe try to utilize some of that rebound effect out of the bottom of the hole, which I haven't really ever been able to do. And although I think these squats move fairly fast for me, one of the issues I had was when I was moving in and out of the hole with speed, so I kind of lost my form a little bit, and that's a problem that I have in my personal life too. I need to do slow and methodical, or else my motion is just all off. And what I mean by this in this case is, because my speed was a little bit faster here, was my weight was actually transferring from the back of my heel onto the front of my foot, and this kind of put me a little bit forward. Also didn't really have me feeling as stable as I normally would, so that's something to keep in mind going forward for me while I'm doing this. And from this particular angle too, I actually don't have a problem with how my wrists look. Typically they're jacked all the way back. I've been playing with, again, having the bar up just a little bit higher than what I'm used to. So instead of trying to jam the bar as far back as I can, I just put it right on top of my rear delts. And I found this was more comfortable for me, and it also allows my wrists to be in a little bit more neutral position for the most part. You can still see here that they're bent back, but just not as much as they typically do. This also lets me kind of keep my elbows down and tighter a little bit more than having them flared straight back. But overall, pretty happy with these sets. Again, 4 sets of 6 at 365, and that dude in the background definitely approves. Now from there, we moved on to 2 sets of 6 for deadlifts, 435, resetting my max on this as well. So again, these sets are going to be fairly light, and because we're only using 435, I didn't use my belt. One of the things that I'm trying to think of here when I pull these is really keep my chest up, as well as get into a strong position here with my legs. This is something that I've learned from Jay Nira, who I actually talked about a video he put up on YouTube the other day. I linked it on my Instagram account, so if you don't follow me there, check the description box below for the link to that, because I try to share some helpful things from time to time. You can also see here that I'm rocking my pre-workout and Pop-Tarts shirt, so big shout out to Forged Iron Training for sending me this. You can obviously tell based off the thumbnail that I put this to use, and they know me very, very well. So again, here finishing with deads, again, 2 sets of 6 at 435. Felt very good, weight moved very strong, and my back felt really good despite having not lifted for the last week. So big things to come hopefully. Eventually I'll add in some assistance work, but just wanted to call it quits for today for the time being.